Let's review the compare-contrast text structure. In this type of text structure, information's organized according to similarities and differences in ideas, people, places, or things. When we use the example of apples and oranges, it's pretty easy to think about how these two are the same and how they are different. This type of text structure is most likely going to be found in non-fiction writing, specifically in science or social studies textbooks. Signal or cue words for the compare-contrast text structure include both, however, on the other hand, on the contrary, similarly, in contrast, although, different, as opposed to. Here's some more signal words. These are some examples of compare-contrast graphic organizers that you may see. Often it's going to be a Venn diagram, which is two overlapping circles. Sometimes your diagram or graphic organizer might look like this. And let's do this practice paragraph together. Two of the most destructive hurricanes to hit the United States in recent years were Hurricane Andrew in 1992 and Hurricane Katrina in 2005. Both hurricanes inflicted massive destruction and damage to parts of the southeast United States. When Hurricane Andrew made landfall in Homestead, Florida, it was a Category 5 hurricane, the strongest measure for hurricanes. At landfall, its winds measured 175 miles per hour, and it dumped 7 inches of rain on southern Florida. With storm surges nearly 17 feet, the damage was extensive. Estimated property damage was $25 billion, and 26 people died as a result of the hurricane. Hurricane Katrina struck the Mississippi and Louisiana coast as a Category 3 hurricane with winds of 120 miles per hour at landfall. Although Katrina was not as strong as Andrew, it was far more destructive and deadly. This is because the city of New Orleans was in its path. A storm surge of 12 feet reached the city and caused the protective levees to break, flooding 80% of the city. More than 1,800 people died, and property damage was about $81 billion. Both hurricanes caused suffering and devastation to the people who lived through them. In measuring hurricane strength, Andrew was the stronger of the two. However, Katrina inflicted more destruction and fatalities because its path was through New Orleans. What two things are being compared and contrasted in this paragraph? And can you find two signal words to list? Quiz yourself and see if you can figure out if these paragraphs follow the compare-contrast text structure format. These days, students and their caretakers have more choices when it comes to selecting a public school. In addition to the traditional neighborhood schools, charter schools have popped up in major cities across the country. Both charter schools and neighborhood schools fill traditional roles like providing instruction, serving lunch and other meals, and administering the state tests. But charter schools and neighborhood schools differ in many important ways. One key difference is the amount of time students spend in school. In Chicago, students who attend neighborhood schools do so for around 180 days in a year, and each day is slightly over 6 hours long. On the contrary, students who attend charter schools do so for around 200 days in a year, and most charter school days are over 8 hours long. While both neighborhood and charter schools provide free public education to students meeting enrollment criteria, Students who attend charter schools spend much more time in class. So pause the video, and on your sheet, please record a yes if this is compare and contrast or a no, and explain why. There's more than one way to have a successful school day, but a great way is to be well prepared. The first thing you should do is complete your homework the night before. Don't try to do your work in the morning. It will be too stressful and you may not have enough time. Next, you need to go to bed at a reasonable time. If you stay up too late, you will not be able to focus on assignments or instruction as well, and you may even fall asleep during class. Lastly, you should wake up early. This will give you time to get ready and feel good about yourself, and you'll also be able to get something to eat before the day begins. So remember, one way to have a successful school day is to do your homework the night before, go to bed early, and wake up early. Have a great day. Pause the video and record on your sheet whether or not this is a compare-contrast text structure and explain why. Most people have red pizza or pizza covered with red sauce, but have you ever had white pizza? White pizza is made in almost the same way as red pizza. The dough rises and is rolled out, toppings are applied, and is cooked in an oven. But the key difference is that white pizza does not have any tomato sauce on it. Instead, a white pizza may have olive oil or no sauce at all. I like white pizza more than red pizza because you can really taste the ingredients. Adding some fresh tomatoes to a white pizza will give it that tomato flavor without the completely overwhelming taste of the red sauce that covers most pizzas. If you've not had a white pizza, I recommend that you order or make one today. Pause the video and record on your sheet if this is a compare-contrast text structure and explain your answer.